What is up, everybody? I'm Chris Lyford. I am the senior editor here at Psychotherapy Networker. I'm joined by, man, I've wanted to meet for a long time, JC Hall, hip hop therapist. JC, welcome, man.
Dude,
Good to have
thank
you.
So great to meet you in person, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
The article you did, just like top tier, man. I
Thanks,
really
man.
appreciate
I
you.
appreciate that. Yeah, JC and I connected, what was it, like 2, 3 years ago, pre-COVID,
Yeah,
actually.
pre-pandemic.
I heard this guy's story through the grapevine, really wanted to write about him. JC's a hip hop therapist. We'll get to that in a moment. The article, if you want to check it out, is The Healing Power of Giving Kids the Mic.
Mm,
Feature piece. JC's really the focal point. It's all about doing hip hop therapy with kids on a very ground level. Incorporating a lot of concepts, but in a really culturally competent way that just about anybody can understand and appreciate. This marriage of concepts that's really beautiful. JC, tell us a little bit more about what it is you do. What is hip hop therapy?
yeah, man. No, I appreciate the question, the platform. This conference has been wild, man. I'm grateful
Yeah.
to be here. So yeah, JC Hall. I'm a hip hop artist and therapist. I work as a school social worker at a transfer high school in the South Bronx. So essentially, it's a second chance high school for youth who are overage and undercredited. They've either fallen behind at least a couple years from getting locked up, foster care system, extenuating circumstances,
Yeah.
family stuff, slipping through the cracks of traditional non-culturally reflective education systems and just ending up and so there 10 years ago now I built a recording studio in the school. I had the tremendous privilege of doing so, um, thanks to the principal's foresight, and was able to deck out a professional, so right now we're in the third iteration. The room is an L-shaped room. We got one side is the production wing, all beat pads, turntables, and then the other side is the recording wing where kids get to write songs, record, learn how to mix, master on professional equipment, bro. Like these mics
Yeah,
are
yeah.
mics. If you go to a real studio, the Neumann U87, the Avalon, like these are industry standard. So the kids are making like bangers, man, and like really solid. It's not necessarily about the product, right? It's more about the process.
Right, right.
But the having a nice product doesn't hurt. It's something these kids can take home and feel proud about. And some of them, they want to pursue that artistry and they're putting it up online and they get to show their friends. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm rambling, but it's a dream come true, and yeah, I'm just grateful to be here.
That's awesome, man. No, I know your story. That people out there don't. How can they learn a bit more about you? I know you do some graphic of your own, some education
Absolutely.
and production.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, yeah, check out hiphoptherapy.com. And then I go by Phoenix. I've been making music first before I was a therapist, so I'm an artist first. The music and hip hop culture really helped save my life. So the way I spell my name is Phoenix, Fienyx, the word fiend being in it. Talking about my struggles with mental health and addiction and the rise and fall, rebirth from the ashes. So you can check out my socials. It's Phoenix, that spelling, Fienyxny. You can see a lot of my music, but also that's where you can see a lot of these kids, man, and really some of their just incredible work. But yeah, hiphoptherapy.com. It's a website I created as a centralized free resource, in honor of my late mentor, Dr. Edgar Tyson, who passed away, RIP, in 2018. He's the man who introduced me to this. I always knew hip hop was therapeutic, right? As an artist, first and foremost, and it always has been for the communities that birthed it. But it wasn't until this clinical social worker, Dr. Tyson, decided to try to merge and marry these concepts and develop an evidence base and a literature base, that I stumbled across even that phrase, hip hop therapy. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I happened to go to the one school in the world that he was teaching at. He mentored me through the process. He's my professor, then later mentor, colleague, collaborator, most humble dude I've ever met. And I'm really just trying to do the best I can to really further our shared passion, but also further his legacy, uphold his legacy, make sure the man gets his due props, and people understand the pureness of where this is really coming from, right? Because this man, he was hip hop, like from Patterson, from Jersey,
Yeah.
born and bred hip hop. He fully understood the healing capacities behind it. And yeah,
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Well, shout out to everybody out there watching. Let us know where you're from. Let us know if you're a hip hop head, if you're a fan, if you know JC personally, if you'd like to know JC
yeah,
personally.
shout out, yeah.
Shout out to Mott Haven.
Yo, Mott Haven. I don't know if any of the students would be perusing this website, but if you are, I love y'all. Looking forward to Monday. We're gonna make some more heat. Yeah.
Oh man, just as important. This is your first symposium. It's a
Yeah.
milestone. Well, what's
Huge.
it been like, man? How have you enjoyed yourself?
It's been surreal. I got to be honest, man. It's been absolutely surreal. First and foremost, an absolute honor and a privilege to even be, like be amidst greats. I just met Bessel for the first time through my homie, Dr. Elliot Gann, therapeutic beat making model. And it's like I was saying to him, I was like, if I ever get to meet this guy, I gotta tell him, like, you're a hero, bro. You're a renegade. I really appreciate how much you stood up for standing up against the traditional systems of therapy, his critique of the DSM, and how that's helped create space for people like me who aren't doing traditional approaches. And really appreciate, how much that really means a lot. And so meeting these greats, these people I've looked up to from a distance for a long time, seeing them live, hearing them speak, and then trying to run up on them and like, what up, like, like it's unreal, dude. It's unreal.
Yeah.
And getting to present yesterday, doing the full day workshop, I was shocked. Like the room was packed out, people sitting out in the hallway. People really were engaged, wanted to learn about it. They all hopped in headfirst into the activities. They were writing rhymes, rapping out loud. Just the receptivity to it, is not always something I've been used to. So it's just really beautiful to see and really promising in my eyes in terms of like incorporating hip hop culture into more traditional psychotherapeutic modalities.
Sure. So what stood out from you from that workshop? Anything really surprised you? You went into it. What were you?
The thing that surprised me the most were the older white women who had bars. Yes,
man.
and they were the ones who raised their hand the most at the way end to share and hopped in and had like the courage was like, but to everybody who was there was like such an intrinsic rhythm where I was really surprised how quickly, like you might think a full day workshop's a long time. Not really. Like it took me over 5 years to even learn how to rap on beat myself. So for some of these people, just like who aren't even necessarily embedded in hip hop culture, to get the premise behind the rhythmic regulation embedded in it, to understand like this is a powerful art form and then take a crack at it and kind of be able to fit within the groove from very different cultural circumstances and backgrounds is mind-blowing, but also at the same time, no surprise, because that's what hip hop is and has always done.
Great. Shout out to all our middle-aged women out there who are rapping,
killed it,
aspiring rappers or want to get into this. Man, that's great. We are going to raffle off some magazines in a second. But Jesse, I want to talk a bit about your inspirations personally, professionally. Let's talk a bit about that.
Oh man, great question. I mean, professionally, Dr. Edgar Tyson. And I really, again, hiphoptherapy.com, there's a tab that has Tyson's work, just everything he's published. If it were not for that man, I would have never had permission to, and I would have never pursued this career. I almost dropped out of school numerous times because I was like, this isn't built for me. I don't feel comfortable here. I didn't fit in the music therapy spaces. My music was not seen as real music. I didn't fit in a lot of these spaces, even my personal experience with therapy. So to see this dude who was up there like suit and tie, but had a Yankee fitted cap on, doing his thing, tenured professor at Fordham University. That's a top graduate school for social sciences, social services. It was so inspiring. Artist wise, man, my top, like Pac is always going to have to be my number one.
JC and I were just talking East Coast or West Coast. I was like, I don't want you to make some enemies, back at home, and you got to represent the East Coast, but Pac is for you.
Dude, I hate to do it, man. Biggie will always beat him hands down, flow wise, hands down. Pac, in terms of what he was talking about, the passion behind his words, he takes it every day. I wish I had my, I wore it during the thing. I went to Wake Me When I'm Free. There's this dope exhibit in LA. When I was out there for a presentation on hip hop and mental health for the Grammys Museum in June, I got to go right after, and they have ill merch. It was a rose that grew from concrete. A huge theme in the studio. But yeah, Pac, man, he just his activist roots, his mother being a Black Panther, his history of just like he had MLK, Malcolm X vibes in the way he was an orator and spoke and preached in a way with such passion that there's no way anybody could listen to that and not be touched.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. We got people, a ton of people in the chat. We got Sarah who's saying Midwest. We got Katie who's saying, Sarah, you beat me to it. Midwest is best. So we got some rivalries going on in the chat.
I wish they were here. Because a part of sorry to cut you off, dude. No. Part of the presentation, I encourage people to really utilize their local dialects in the pronunciation. And I was like, in New York, we say coffee. It's coffee. And then in the Midwest, there's these mythical creatures that say coffee. I've never been in the Midwest, but they say
Yeah.
coffee. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, what you can rhyme is very different based on coffee, awfully, sorry, like,
Yeah.
and then coffee, hot tea,
Yeah.
broccoli. It's different. So
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to the
It's
Midwest.
like Eminem used to say, like, there's nothing that rhymes with door hinge,
Yes.
but he said
Orange.
you can.
There's
Orange,
nothing that rhymes with orange.
4-inch,
4-inch door hinge. It's all in the pronunciation.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Sweet, man. We got Jennifer checking in. We got Joy from Fawn Grove, Pennsylvania. We got Mariasha from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Who else we got? We got Brittany from Georgia. Hey, Brittany. Marianne from Kansas. Gene Evans says, old school hip hop fan. Hey, Gene, how's it going? Martha from Colorado. Man, all over the place.
Jeez.
That is awesome. What else? Who's in your top 5 right now? So artists that you are listening to, artists you've been listening to for a while. We're always in those top spots, and the new up and comers who you're like really psyched about.
Man. Yeah, I mean, of the new generation, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole.
Yeah,
you know, top 2. Like, to me, that's the Biggie and Pac of this generation. The consistency, the social critique, the rhythmic innovations. I mean, what Kendrick does on a beat is is stunning, right? He got the Nobel poetry laureate, right? Something like that. Like, he is nasty. His when his album came out last year, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, the most recent one. I mean, all his albums are fire, but this most recent one, he's diving into therapy. He's talking about Eckhart Tolle, a new author of A New Earth. Like, he's talking about, as it's like a therapeutic journey listening to it. And what's so beautiful about that, and what I think is also what I try to do with hip hop therapy, is highlight the inherently healing capacities and cathartic elements within one's own culture, within like the overlap with therapy and more traditional approaches, because therapy can be seen as a very like Eurocentric Western construct. It's not, and the way to kind of bridge that gap, I would say, is highlighting that inherent capacity within one's own culture and community, and showing like, yeah, it looks very different on the surface, but we're kind of all talking about the same thing. We're talking about expression, connection, the cipher, the group therapy, the circle. You know what I mean? There's a lot of overlap, and I love MCs who kind of are starting to draw that into their work. Yeah. And yeah, J. Cole, man, he's filthy.
That's great, man. Yeah, we were talking about sort of the origins of hip hop. I mean, a lot of it, if not all of it, began in the Bronx. Big Pun, Biggie. It was music that was counterculture. It was progressive. It was revolutionary.
100%.
Yeah, let's talk a bit more about your process and sort of teasing out, in beat production, in music creation, sort of that therapeutic essence, and how are you helping kids at Mott Haven work through their issues through the music?
That's a great question, man. I mean, I would say, right, so from a neurophysiological lens, right, the triune model of the brain, you got bottom up approaches, more body based, and then top down, which is more that cognitive, kind of typically what people think of when they hear therapy, right?
Yeah.
Developing insight, addressing cognitive distortions. But oftentimes as therapists, we're banging our head up against the wall because you're trying to have a rational convo with someone who's in fight, flight, or freeze, or fawn. Like, it's not going anywhere. Dr. Bruce Perry talks about the regulating power of rhythm, right? Yeah. Rapping is RAP, rhythm and poetry, right? Rhythm, and then even emphasize more with the reliance on rhyme, right? So it's got this basic drum beat, this 4x4, very grounding beat. Yeah. And then you get to, there's room for freedom with your rhythmic innovations in terms of the syllabic layout and the flows and the rhyme schemes you're choosing. So you get some freedom, but you're also grounded within that ordered, very structured beat. So you're able to kind of have these, you're able to dance with it. Yeah. And that like dual relationship helps ground you, regulate the nervous system to the point where then you can start moving towards that relational and then even the reasoning, the higher up. And what's so beautiful about rapping is that each unit of rhythm, each syllable, stressed and unstressed, each unit of rhythm has inherent verbal significance. There's cognitive, being words automatically attached to it. So some people might think rapping is just straight rhythmic. Some people might think it's just language. It's like, no, it's merging both in the way it's being presented, highlighting the stressed and unstressed syllables naturally within speech and doing that to a grounding beat. You know what I mean? It arguably helps pave the way and set the stage for one to explore their traumas in a way where they're not overstimulated
Yeah.
and help develop dual focus, right? If you want to compare it to EMDR, and bilateral stimulation, all that good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff, man. We got the women in the chat are speaking out. They said we can't leave out the women of rap.
Nope.
Missy, Cardi B,
Yes.
MC Light, Nicki,
Yes.
Megan Thee Stallion,
Cindy Campbell. Go take it
Cindy
back to
Campbell?
Cool Herc, his
Okay.
sister, Cindy Campbell. Put that party on.
Queen Latifah, and then we have the brilliant Jackie Johnson, who's just out of camera, reminding me, Lauryn Hill.
Oh, Lauryn Hill,
forget about
100%.
Lauryn Hill. Yeah.
She's the first MC I heard that made me want to rap.
Okay.
I heard the Fugees. I was in 4th grade,
Mhm.
and it was something about like Lauren's capacity in the poetry. Like I was always fascinated with the English language, but rap as a form, I wasn't introduced to the power of it like as fully until I heard her on a beat and killing it on the Fugees, killing the dudes, just slaughtering it, like, and just the rhythmic complexity, the like flawless diction, like it that's the first thing that really grabbed me, like, yo, this is a really complex poetic art form.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, shout out to Lauryn Hill.
Good stuff, man. All right. Well, I want to raffle off a few magazines. Here's what we're going to do. I have this game I came up. I'm calling it Who Said It? Hip hop artist, rapper, or therapist. So we're going to, JC, I got 18 questions. We're going to see how he does. I'm going to read a quote, and then we're going to ask JC who said it, therapist or a hip hop artist. Feel free to join in. If you can guess who the artist or therapist is, you'll get a free 1-year subscription to Psychotherapy Networker.
Boom.
If you are already a subscriber, we will extend your subscription for 1 year. So let's get started, JC.
Fire, man. I'm ready to bomb this. All right, let's go.
All right. Quote number 1. You never know how strong you can be until being strong is the only choice you have left.
Damn, I'm going to say a rapper.
You got it, man.
Okay.
Any guesses as to who said it?
This making me think DMC, Darryl McDaniels. Talks a lot about mental health. I'm totally wrong, aren't I? Tupac. Wow, and I just went on a rave about how I love Tupac. Amen. That is
something. This is what
Tupac
we're doing. We're gonna embarrass ourselves. We're gonna have a good time. All you out there, please join in. Please, use the honor system. Do not Google these.
Please,
let's
come on.
Give people a chance. All right. Second.
Sorry, say that again. You never know how strong you are.
I'm going to give you these quotes after.
Please.
I'm counting on JC to push the message out. Please. The point here is that therapists and hip hop artists, the message is a lot of the times the same. So we want to shine a light on that. But here's question number 2. Or I'm sorry, quote number 2. Wherever there is tension, it needs attention. Who said it?
Ooh. I'm going to guess a therapist, and I have no idea which one. Some kind of somatic therapist. Okay. Hit me.
Do we have any guesses out there as to who said it? People are mixed, man. People are saying therapist, rapper. But people are leaning heavy on therapist. It's Gabor Mate, therapist.
There you go. Beautiful. Therapist. Beautiful.
Nice. All right. So you're 2 for 2?
Yes, but I got both the names wrong.
Well, I mean,
all right, I'll take a 0.5 for each.
Okay. Third quote, remind yourself, nobody is built like you. You design yourself.
That's a rapper.
And
I want to say, is that Jay?
It's Diddy.
Diddy?
Yeah, Diddy, man. Lots of people guessing rapper on that one. I think it was the
rhyme in it. There was a rhyme.
The rhyme, yeah. I said it like a rhyme. I should have done that.
That was a bar.
All right. Next one. To live is to suffer. To survive, well, that's the fine meaning of suffering.
Suffering. DMX.
Nice, man. You got it.
Can't get up, man. All right. That song raised me, man.
Did we have anybody? Nope. Nobody guessed the rapper, but lots of. Oh, it was pretty mixed on that one too.
Yeah, I cut him off on that. I heard you slipping.
You knew it, man. You got it. All right. Here's one. The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. Who said it? Therapist or rapper?
The curious paradox. I'm gonna say a therapist.
You got it, man.
Don't know who.
Okay. Pretty mixed here too. Somebody said Beck. Beck is not a rapper. Oh, is he a rapper?
I have no idea. Aaron Beck?
No. I thought they meant Beck the artist.
Beck the artist. Okay.
All right.
The indie rock guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is Carl Rogers. Carl Rogers. Katie Kahneman said that. Carl Rogers. Katie, email me, C Lyford.
Yeah, you
at psychnetworker.org. You just got a 1-year subscription.
Boom.
All right. We got 1 more minute. Mistakes make masterful teachers. Who said it? Hip hop artist or therapist?
Mistakes make masterful teachers. That is a truth and a half. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say therapist. Who I don't know.
That's your first wrong answer. It's Nas. Nas said it.
That was not, and I got a Nas one wrong.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
I'm tucking my tail between my legs, bro. Oh my
You had to
god.
get one wrong. You had to get one.
Mistakes make masterful teacher. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, Nas is a oh man, street poet. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these artists, man, are like therapists in other lives. Kind of like what
Yeah,
Alanis Morissette was talking
She
about
was
this
awesome.
morning, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's yeah. There's such overlap, man.
Yeah.
Such beautiful souls and spirits, man.
All right, we got one more.
Okay.
In the small matters, trust the mind. In the large ones, the heart.
In the small matters, trust the mind. Large wounds, the heart. Therapist. No
Therapist.
idea who.
Yeah, you got it right. Freud.
Okay.
Freud said it, man.
Freud.
Yeah.
Boom. That's
Which
deep,
sounds
Freud.
very
That's
modern,
That
right?
sounds very modern.
Yeah, yeah,
That's fascinating.
yeah. Well, guys, we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us, JC, man. It's been awesome.
Dude,
Thank you.
That was
Thank
dope.
you.
That
Thank
was
you.
dope, man.
I
Thank
appreciate
you so
it.
much, bro.
Appreciate it. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you're not here with us, join us next year at Psychotherapy Networker Symposium. If you're watching from the virtual audience, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thank you.